we're on this parami of determination, intention for the whole month. Well, what else is there to say about it? We just spent the whole last week on it as well, every day last week. It's so important. All these paramis are so important, and really like to bring together a couple things this morning in a very, we're all about baby steps. We're all about baby steps. We can talk a lot about determination and motivation and resolution and commitment. And we know that it's a big deal. It's a big deal in our lives, and we know that it's the following through on a lot of our intentions that is challenging for most of us. And I'd like to bring together this morning, offer you a very concrete, very specific baby step handhold as you for your daily practice, along these lines of determination, resolution. It's so important to be in touch with, as we've said before, the causes of well-being and the causes of not well-being, of dis-ease. Now, the causes. What are the causes? What are some of the underlying causes of determination or motivation or intention? And one of them, I'd like to go back to what Rick Hanson's words about, who wrote The Buddha's Brain, and from a neuroscience point of view, the importance of spending 12 seconds on a wholesome or positive state of mind. 12 seconds. And one other piece that we've spent also a lot of time on recently and last week, which is slowing down by 10%, slowing down here and there by 10% in our lives. I like to bring those two together in this very, very simple kind of exercise that we can all do, but most of us don't do specifically, which is from time to time, during our day, slowing down by 10% and taking 12 seconds to just stop for a moment, to feel into what's going on, to appreciate what's going on, but just to stop the music for 12 seconds and settle. And it could be as we're about to do any number of things. About to, just before speaking, just before eating, just before about to launch into the next thing, when we're multitasking, just to take that brief pause. And again, as I mentioned last week, with Rick Hanson says that's what we need to do to actually start to change our brain, or actually the neuronal pathways. That we need to stay with something for these short blocks of time. You could call them the 12-second building blocks. The 12-second building blocks. Building what? Building in the direction of wholesome, in the direction of well-being. But 12 seconds is still 12 seconds. And we tend to not. We tend to not acknowledge something for a moment, maybe a couple seconds. That's so lovely. Even really sweet things, that's lovely. Next, and we're on to the next. We're on to the next. We're on to the next. Even with a delicious bite of something, we're already leaning into the next bite. I'll taste for a moment. Next. It's always that next. And so 12 seconds, it may seem like, oh, that's nothing. It is something. 12 seconds is more than we usually do. And if we see that as a real step, uh, and, and remember to do it from time to time, you need to remember to do it, it can make a difference. And it's one of those precursors to determination. When we actually slow down for a moment and take 12 seconds. Do you want to see what 12 seconds is? Ready? Go. Right here. Ready? Here. This is how it is. You want to stay with something positive. Are you feeling positive right now a little bit in this moment? All right, we're going to stay with this for 12 seconds. Okay, ready? Go. That's 12 seconds. Just that long. And the way that I do it, I kind of bring these things together. This is how I bring these two things together. Slow down a little minute. I have to remind myself, oh, okay. As Susan says, pad the brake. I'm going to pad the brakes here just for a moment. I'm going to pad the brakes here just for a moment. Yeah. And for myself, I'll take one. No, this doesn't have to be dramatic. This is just the way I do it. Okay. But I'll pause and I'll breathe in for 6 seconds. And it doesn't mean like, I don't mean like that. I'll just go, okay, breathe in for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the exhale, it's more like an inner sigh. I'll go like it's an inner sigh. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before I do the next thing. That's it. Just before. Often, we always say, do some kind of gratitude. We always have 12 seconds, at least a little bit more than 12 seconds before we eat every time. So we have built that in. We'll say some kind of prayer of gratitude. So that one happens a lot for us, but also 12 seconds before speaking. 12 seconds before logging on to Zoom, 12 seconds before looking at your device. This would be a good one, just 12 seconds, because it's so much of the speed in our lives is simply not having that you could call it an interruption. I call it an invitation to check in a little bit more, just for that moment. I'm going to put my hand on my device and not turn it over for 12 seconds. That's all. Meanwhile, you have to check in a little bit. What's going on in those 12 seconds? A lot can show up in that 12 seconds, actually. Oh, what's going on in here? Now let me turn over the device. Maybe I don't even need to turn it over that time. Maybe it's just habit. I just did it 3 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't know what will show up for you. We don't know what will show up, but it provides that useful, creative pause, not just a white knuckling pause. Sometimes it will be like that. Oh, okay, I'm not supposed to do anything for 12 seconds. Well, what's up with that? Also, then you get to look at that. Is there that much intense energy to move forward that's actually a little challenging to stop even for 12 seconds? Yeah, I think you'll see that too sometimes. Wow, I didn't realize I was that wound up. That it actually feels challenging to just stop for 12 seconds. For 12 seconds. So the point is, a lot will be learned there in those small gaps. A lot will be learned there. If you can give yourself permission to play with that, it's the about to moment. The about to moment, let's make that 12 seconds. And also, when there's something particularly lovely that happens, hopefully we have a few moments a few of those moments every day. We have some of those moments every day with our cats. Extend them for 12 seconds. Right? Very concrete suggestion. And in and of itself can be a resolution. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that a few times today. I'm going to just try that. I don't know what else what I'll see when I do that, but or feel when I do it, but I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that several times. 12 seconds. No longer than 12 seconds either. Let's not set ourselves up. We can get into that. No, I should do this I should be in this space all the time. No, no, no. But if you can give yourself permission to just here and there, I believe you'll have some important insights there, and it will be a pause that refreshes. A pause doesn't have to refresh, but if you practice this, it will be a pause that actually refreshes and yields some important insights. Well, it's arresting that tendency for us to tumble into the next moment, tumble into the next moment, tumble into the multitask. Okay, we know that. And now I'm just before the next thing. Okay, now the next thing. Simple like that. So I'm going to encourage you to play with that as a mini resolution or a mini determination, a mini pause that can have more than many effects, I believe. Yeah. With speech, it hasn't been just the pause that's been refreshing. It's also a pause that saved me because, wow, okay, I'm about to say something. I take 12 seconds. Oh, it isn't quite what I wanted to say. That's not quite the way I was going to say it. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't take 12 seconds. Anyway, please play with that.